Dear ladies and gentlemen, I greatly enjoy to do this celebration in order to give you three and more very important cultural goods. These cultural goods were explored by many students and scholars. I want to express in this hour my sincere thanks. We worked from 2016 to 2018 together with an international French, Jordanian and German team in the Eastern Baths. All this work would not be possible without the financial support of the French Foreign Ministry, the Ministère des Affaires étrangères à Paris. In the same time, the German side contributed also financially by the Gerda Henkel Foundation, a private industrial foundation. Mostly the ladies amongst you know it by the washing powder Persil and other things produced by Gerda Henkel, a worldwide trust that supports humanities in general, restoration work and archaeology in Germany. The work in the Eastern Baths would not be possible without my French colleagues Jacques Seigne, whom you all know from 40 years of work here at the site of Jerash. His successor, Dr. Thomas, not only a cooperator but a close friend of mine, helped in excavating the baths. He took the most responsibility about the excavation, which is always a sort of destruction. The exploration of the Eastern Baths was first initiated by two Jordanian renowned scholars, Mrs. Aida Nagawi and her husband Abdel. Thank you very much. Thank you, shukran jazeelan. From my team, which consists out of mainly students from the Jordanian universities. The only foreigners working in my team are myself. I'm a German nationalist, but also divided in my heart with Jordan, because Jordan is my host country. And my dear assistant, Ms. Keria Chochon, and the restoration was taken very carefully and very expertised by our dear friend Franco Schiorelli. Who is also a very renowned person because he is working since more than 10 years in the restoration and conservation of the cultural heritage of Jordan. 25. Sorry. Now I want, with Franco, mention his assistant, Mr. Khaled Al from Italia, near Malabar, who worked tremendously well in the restoration of the statue. Shukran jazeelan. it is my aim, since I'm working here since more than 40 years, to introduce my very close, the best friend I had ever worldwide, Mr. Abu Rami Yasser Melkawi. With Abu Rami, I work since 1986. He did tremendous work in Omkais, with the rest house, also in many, many other sites, the blacksmithing work, and he is a great, great personality here for Jordan. Yeah. And in the same time, I would mention his son, Mohammed Melkawi, who has been tremendously helping us with all the work. Our close cooperation was, of course, with the Department of Antiquities. I first extend my thanks to His Excellency, the Acting Director of the Department of Antiquities, Mr. Saeed, and of course to our friend, Dr. Ziad Ganimat, the Director of the Antiquities in Paris. And I should not miss his predecessor, Dr. Ismail Melham, who assisted us in previous excavations. Of course, I must mention also the director of the Archaeological Museum here on the Rest House Hill, which we will visit after seeing the video, Mrs. Anal Al-Momani. Very nice assistants. Yeah. Now coming back to my team, I have to mention very talented young students who had been partly students of mine from the University of Jordan. I educated them theoretically, and I had the luck to have them in my team in order to work practically with original objects. This is at the first hand Miss Mariam Taha. Miss Mariam is a very good young conservator and restorator. I worked with her in Al-Halabat, in Jamal, and now here in Jerash, and she is employed in many, many other restoration projects at sites like Khirbet Yajuz and others. Thank you very much, Mariam. Together with Mariam, I should mention Aya Al-Rizq, Abu Rizq, also a student of mine, and Zara Gilani. The IT work in our team, because we did all this with a very careful planning. So we did, before we start to install the statues, a 3D animation in order to see how the statues would look like in this room. And this was Mrs. Safar Al-Jude, an expert in IT. Now, coming back to the gentlemen of our mission, I should first mention Mr. Hamza Al-Atoum, who has been our reporter, and the video about our work, which you see after this initial presentation, is his work. Also, I would mention our assistant and our excellent cook for Galayat Banadora for the breakfast, Mr. Abu Abdullah. Without him, Without him, not only the restoration of the statues would not have taken place, but we all, the team, would die from hunger. Next one is my draftsman, a real artist, the Michelangelo of Jordan, Mr. Deep Hassan. Of all the sculptural fragments which we found, and Deep Hassan is responsible for my nice diary. This is the director's diary, which maybe will be inherited by the Department of Antiquities when I say goodbye to this world, but his work will survive generations, I'm sure. I'm sure. Now I have to mention Mr. Abdallah Zarour, a student of mine, who did not only assist me with the minor work, but he was my companion daily in driving with my bike from Amman to Jordan. And he warned me a lot for flashing cars. Yeah? So I have no mukhalafat thanks to his help. Now, the marbles which we investigated would be unknown. The marble of this Aphrodite comes from Athens, from Mount Pentelicon, while the marble of Zeus has been quarried in northern Greece. We greatly appreciate the cooperation with Yarmouk University, and in the first place I should mention Dr. Khalid Bashairi, Dr. Khalid is not only an excellent scholar, but he publishes also very fastly. I have worked with excellent scholars, and you wait for years for the manuscript, but Dr. Khalid was very prompt, and we have the first article on the sculptures in print in the Bulletin of the American School. Yeah. Now, coming to our excavation team that has been working together with Thomas Lepin, and at first place I should mention Abdel Karim Al-Hawamle, who helped in organizing, and with his pickup he was a very, very great help for us all. Thank you. His assistant is Ahmed El-Daha, also a very experienced archaeologist from Yarmouk University. He graduated as my friend Abdel Karim with his BA. Abdel Karim from University of Jordan, he from Yarmouk University, if I'm correct. Now, I am a professor at the German university, and I employed my actual students who prepare their master thesis in the eastern part of Jordan. You have no better object to train architects rather than to work actually, practically at the ruins. My student Khaled Reish, master thesis on the decorated blocks, and he works very closely together with Thomas Lepin, and he was assisted by Mohammed Hayajne and Zaid And I should not forget Mr. Mahmoud Al-Omari, who has been sent from Yarmouth University to help employees and to assist us together with the students of the German Jordanian University. You did a great job. Thank you very much. Also, I should extend my appreciation and thanks to all of you here, to the personnel of the Visitor Center. Mr. Majdi is also a student of mine. The director, yes. Yeah. To the tourist police, who was always very helpful, to the guards, and of course to everybody who assists us. Now I would like the audience cordially to invite you to see a small video on the work, and Mr. Ganimat, Dr. Ganimat will introduce it to you.
قبل الانتقال إلى الفقرة الأخرى من برنامجنا الحافل اليوم، أنوه أنه هنا يتواجد وسائل إعلامية على مستوى. أنوه التلفزيون الأردني، قناة المملكة، قناة رؤية، الحقيقة الدولية، قناة أمن FM، مندوبي الصحف اليومية، الرأي والدستور والغد، مندوب الجوردن تايمز، لكي ننقل هذا الحدث ويعتبر من الأحداث المميزة في تاريخ الأردن. الإذاعة الأردنية للأسف، الإذاعة الأردنية أهلا وسهلا بكم. وأيضا نرحب بالدائرة الإعلامية في بلدية جرش، زميلنا هشام البنا. كل هذه الوسائل جاءت لتغطي هذا الحدث أعتبره المهم في تاريخ مدينة جرش، ولا بل في تاريخ المملكة الأردنية الهاشمية. الآن سيتم الانتقال، أستأذن الحضور للانتقال لمشاهدة فيديو ويستحق المشاهدة. هذا الفيديو أعده المصور من بلدية جرش من الدائرة الإعلامية حمزة الذي. هذا الفيديو يجسد مراحل التنقيب منذ اكتشاف هذه التماثيل ولا أن رممت وثم وضعت في هذا الشكل وأشرت أمامكم. نستأذنكم، هذه قاعدة